I really don't have an official analysis or prediction, but I will say this. If Canelo fights the absolute correct fight that he can fight, the only correct fight that he can fight, he does have a chance, and I think he could be victorious. If he doesn't, if he doesn't fight the one way that he can only fight to win it, Terence Crawford has six ways he can win it. And my money will go on the man who has six ways to win it over the man who has one way of winning it.
So you think Canelo has to kind of fight the perfect fight, right?
If he don't, he in trouble. If he
Mm-hmm.
does, he should be all good.
Let's kind of go. Let's talk about the weight a little bit, right? Because we all know
I
everything
really
you
want.
accomplished as a heavyweight. What is
I,
Terrence dealing with right now?
I don't think Terrence dealing with much of anything because Terrence did like I did as a heavyweight. He bulked up to the weight. He been dealing with super middles and light heavyweights in training. If you can deal with him in training, you can deal with him in the fight. So the weight should not even be an issue.
Do you think Terrence is that one fighter where he could accomplish what a lot of people are thinking is not doable? Is he that one fighter who's just wired and has that different DNA?
He is, and not only to mention is he the guy that can, he's already done it. How many two or three division undisputed champions have we ever had besides Usyk? Usyk is a two division undisputed champ. This dude is a three division undisputed champ already, and if he win this, he'll be a four division undisputed champ. We may never see that again. See, people don't like to celebrate the reality when it's happening. They'll wait or wait till the person dead and they talk about it. This man is the only three division undisputed champion that boxing has ever had. And we're asking, are we wondering, can he step up to a task? Really? Do you know who we talking about? I
You know,
mean, people. I mean, I just don't get that. I don't understand how people they discredit things so quickly. I guess a lot of times, uh, peer pressure, social media, money, things like that distort the truth sometimes. You understand me? This man been around for the last 20 years, undefeated. You understand me? For the last 20 years, undefeated. If somebody wanted to prove this, that day was right there. Why they didn't fight him? He been undefeated for the last 20 years. I mean, right there. Only three division undisputed world champ. Only. He could really, you could really put him in the talk for one of the pound for pound, one of the best ever. Because whoever did that before? Nobody.
and
There you go. I've got to ask you about Crawford and Canelo. You've been in the ring with both of them fighters.
I might be the only guys that's.
I can't think of anyone else that has, obviously, because there's a big weight disparity between the two. So
I think I'm the only guy that's been in with both fighters. So yeah, I'm thinking of maybe going there. I've been asked to go there and obviously give my input on the fight before they go in the ring. And obviously I know both fighters. Canelo's a friend now after our fight we had, and also Crawford had shared training camp with him as well. It's a good fight. Well, I'm not going to say too much.
Okay.
I'm going to save it till on the day of the fight.
Okay.
But look, it's going to be a mega fight. Honestly, it's hard to pick the winner.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a close one.
I know you said you don't want to say too much, but when people talk about Crawford boxing on the outside and using it to movement, almost making it boring in a sense, do you think he can do that with the added weight that gets put on and him boxing in that certain style that we haven't really seen him box like before? In terms of boxing on the outside and almost sort of that stick and movement type.
Talking about Crawford, yeah?
Crawford, yeah.
Look, Crawford's going to probably do the same thing that he knows best, which is box, be smart, slow movements, small steps. It's only small steps he's taking. So I mean, look, and it's always worked for him. Every fight he's been in, we thought that the fight with Spence was going to be hard, and he made it look so easy. Now, we've never really seen him in a hard fight where we've seen him in trouble. So maybe this could be the fight that puts him in that trouble to see what he's going to be like when he's under pressure. You know what I mean? We've never seen either fighter under pressure, like a lot of pressure. I mean, you can't say.
Maybe Golovkin for Canelo, I guess.
Yeah,
you could
exactly.
Say.
Yeah, Golovkin. Yeah. But other than that, I don't class the Mayweather fight a hard fight because Mayweather was just a runner, wasn't he?
Yeah. But, I guess Bivol had the size.
Bivol had the size advantage, but this one, I think Canelo has the size advantage. But then again, I've always said Crawford puts on the weight well. If you look at size of him, you see his picture when he was like 185. He looked huge, bro. He looked jacked up and he looked strong at the weight as well. I mean, I remember when I used to spar with him, and I think, wow, he's heavy and he's heavy-handed as well.
People don't give as well,
yeah. You know, people don't give him the credit for his power. Crawford bangs hard, man. I mean, and also has that muscle strength. I saw him in the gym when I was training with them, wrestling heavyweights and taking them down. Wrestling. So I don't know if you know this, but Crawford is, I think he was like one of the top national wrestlers.
He was a good, yeah. I think he wrestled when he was younger, and he was very. Like, you always see him wrestling people at events.
Strong, and stuff. He's strong, isn't he? So either look, he's one guy you don't want to fight, because if you ever stand off with him, he's gonna try knocking you out, and if he takes you down, you're fucked as well. So I mean, but look, I mean, it's a great fight that we're gonna see, because we've not really seen a fight where it's like it is a proper 50-50 fight. Why people are saying it's a 50-50 fight? Because Canelo has all the advantages, and Crawford has never been beaten. So that's why. And Crawford looks unbeatable. So it's gonna be a good fight.
I'll be there. I'll be the ringside. I'll be keeping a very, very keen eye on it. As a fan, as someone who could potentially face them. So yeah, I'll be there, and I'll be watching closely.
What do you think about that? I'm assuming you hope Canelo wins, I guess.
I've got Canelo winning. I've got him winning the fight. Is that what you asked? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I know
it's a bit loud.
Yeah. But I said you'd ideally want Canelo to win.
Yeah. In an ideal world, yeah. And I feel like he will. But it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah. Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why we have weight divisions. I think that Canelo has proven as he has risen in the weights. He's dealt with the best in his weight divisions that he's at now. He fought Bivol, and Bivol couldn't hurt him. He fought my guy, and my guy couldn't hurt him in 2 fights. The third fight I wouldn't even count as a fight. But to have a guy come up from 140 pounds in such a short period of time, I'm not saying he couldn't have done it. If he'd have taken 3 or 4 years like Canelo did and built up not only his strength but his bulk in the correct way, he would have had a better chance. But to do it in these 14, 15 months that he's done it in, it's going to be difficult for him. I think that it's a tough fight at the first 3 or 4 rounds because of his speed, just like when we took Golovkin to fight Kell Brook. Kell Brook, being a welterweight, was a little faster, quicker at the beginning. But once Canelo assimilates the speed and assimilates the movement, and Crawford's going to be a lot slower because of the weight also. Once he does that, I think it'll be a sparring session for Canelo, as it is in most of his last 4 or 5 fights. After the 5th or 6th round, it seems like it's a sparring session. He's doing whatever he wants.
Do you feel like people don't realise it with Crawford, like when he's putting this weight on, this is almost weight that may not even be beneficial to him?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to benefit him. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he weighs fight night. If the reports that I've read, he's up at 180 pounds, 190 pounds. So if he drops down to 168, I think it'll be too much. I thought that maybe 160, 158 maybe was the best form. But if he's comes in at 168 or 170 pounds by fight night, 175, I think it'll be too much. I think he'll be slower. He's not going to punch any harder just because he got the weight.
Yeah, what a fight. Very hard to pick a winner, isn't it? Very hard to pick a winner because, like every good fight, no one really knows the skill and competitiveness and ring craft of Crawford, or then you can say the same things about Canelo, but just he has that size. And but I see Crawford in New York when Hamza fought Berlanga, and he doesn't look too small anymore. He's filled out a lot. He looked quite big. It's a great fight. I think they're equally matched in skill, and it's going to be one of the best fights. It's going to, like when you see how skillful both fighters are, the tricks they have, and how they fight. It should be one of the best fights of the last, I don't know how many years. It should be up there with the best fights we can remember.
Yeah. Does the weight putting on for Crawford almost be a negative factor when people talk about his movement, when you pack on that weight?
Nah. I don't. People say all that, and when heavyweights try to lose weight, heavyweights slim down so they can be more, so they can move more. I don't think you lose the weight I don't think he can move. I think he can get moved a lot easier. Weight's good. Weight's good. Like that's why everyone's trying to get an advantage. You'll be stronger. You'll just have more of everything. I think. I don't think it's going to affect Crawford's weight.
Okay. But because a lot of people have sort of their perceptions on social media and whatever, and I see a lot of people feeling like the only factor for Canelo would be size. Do you think that there's more factors in the arsenal for Canelo than just size?
Yeah. Great jab, skillful body puncher, counter puncher, and whatever. But people kind of, I don't know. People are not giving him the respect because of his last performance, but. Trust me, he'll turn up, and he's a competitor too. That's the great thing about these guys. They're winners, and I can't wait to see that fight.
The question is, can you hit him with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah. You briefly mentioned Canelo's power, so who I would assume Canelo has the
You'd have to think, unless Crawford, Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov. So, and Canelo, though he has not stopped anyone in a while, we've seen he's a real puncher at 68.
Against Terence Crawford. When you first heard about that fight, the idea of it, what was your reaction?
First reaction, of course, it was about size of Crawford. Is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, or not? But then I saw him in Dubai maybe a month ago. I saw him. He's big, and he has very good skills. He's one of my favorite boxers. He able to win this fight. But there is a lot of but, and even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He need to get used to the power and pressure of 168 because it's big difference, to be honest. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself at the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able, he has good skills, he's awkward, he can use 2 boxing stance. It gives him benefits, of course.
I was at that same event in Dubai just before Christmas, and I saw him too, and I thought exactly the same thing, which is that he is quite big.
Yeah.
Size obviously is important. Jamel Charlo stepped up from super welterweight to super middleweight to box Canelo, and it didn't work at all for him. But Crawford is, I mean, he's one of the best fighters in the world, isn't he? I mean, obviously you rate him very highly.
Yeah, you know, with it's not about only getting used to the power, and it's also about be mentally ready, because when people are not prepared them mentally, they like afraid or scared, you become weak, your body become weak, you know, when something happened and it's something new and you wasn't ready for this. We all know these feelings, like the body become melting, like just soft, you know. And mentality is very important also for this fight. Even his one weight class or two weight class lower, if he's mentally ready, he will be ready to get these punches and be okay with this. He could be good. At the same time, we saw how Canelo was fighting against another guys like Charlo, maybe Smith, Callum Smith, and we saw the huge difference. I think it's not because of weight class; it's about mentality of the opponents.
That's interesting because, as you say, sometimes you see a fighter take on a big challenge, and early in the fight, they seem to panic. And as soon as you see them panic, you know that it's over.
You don't know that it's over, but it gives you more credits, of course.
Yeah.
It gives his opponents more credits, of course. Because sometimes if the person is scared one in the troubles and you wanna beat him up, he could just throw one punch, you know, and knock his opponent out. You should be careful, even if he's in this mental position.
So at the very highest level, you mentioned mentality. The reason I feel that Crawford has a good chance of winning is because it will be very hard for Canelo to break him, to break his will. And at the highest level, that's what you're trying to do to each other, isn't it? To break the other person's will.
Yeah, it's for him, how I saw him, mentality, he's strong mentally, and he won this fight from the core, how I see, and it gives him credit with this mentality and to get the power from 168. This is, we cannot say just only mentality or only sparring partners to get used to this weight. This is the combination of all of it. He need to spar with bigger guys, he need to get punches, he need to be confident that he's okay with these punches. He need to be confident that he will go in the ring and he could get the punches from Canelo and he will be okay with this.
What did you make of the face and the fight?
I'm buzzing about the fight. I remember when Crawford beat Earl Spence. I was one of the first. Do you know what? I often say these statements and everyone laughs at me. Yeah. I say, as Nick Paul's going to beat Inouye, and now everyone's after Inouye's last performance, maybe they're not laughing so much, but I did say that Crawford beats Canelo, and that was when he beat Earl Spence. I got ridiculed and mocked and laughed at, but I believe he can beat Crawford, or he can beat Canelo. I genuinely do. I think he's a very special fighter, as is Canelo, but I just do think Canelo's maybe slightly on the slide. Canelo's slide, by the way, is still a lot to beat some of the most elite fighters in the world, but you know what I'm trying to say. I think that Crawford, I fancy Crawford in that fight. I genuinely think he can win on points.
Do you think he has to make it a boring fight to win?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because look at the way, like not a sense like a William Skull, but that sort of outside.
Like outside, stay on the outside, and he can do that. We all know Crawford can do that, and he can box his way to, landslide points victories. But potentially may not be the most exciting fight in the world. I think that Canelo's feet are slower than they used to be, and trying to hunt Crawford down may be an issue for him. But Yeah, I genuinely, I'm even more sure now than I was when I made the statement then. Not that I'm sure, I wouldn't be surprised by any result, but I do genuinely think that Crawford has more than a chance to win this fight.
I mean, look, you're talking about 2 pound for pound greats. I mean, generational great is a strong word. I was having some good sort of, I want to say like argumentative banter with Crawford because he was on the plane. And I was basically saying to him that he's unlucky that he's not had the elite opposition that could necessarily make him a generational great. And he is a generational great talent, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you look at Canelo's resume, I mean, it is unbelievable, like, I think. But Crawford hasn't really had the fights. Like, when you look back, like I said to him, who's your best win? And he said, Ricky Burns. All right. Now, Ricky Burns, well, I mean, we was a freeweight world champion, he's one of my fighters. But with all due respect, Ricky Burns was a great champion. But where's the pound for pound wins? And really, I said to him, Errol Spence was damaged goods going into that. And he kind of acknowledged that. Do you know what I mean? This is the fight that will make Terence great. Right? And I've got to say, after the other night, you know, I give him every chance in the fight. I really do. Yeah, I think size is going to be a problem. Is Canelo getting old? Like, he's, you know, I don't know. How much is he still? I mean, the one thing that's so admirable about Canelo Alvarez is that he keeps competing and he keeps having these training camps and he's still got that fire in his belly. Is that the case, or are you telling yourself that? Do you know what I mean? I think for the Crawford fight, he'll really get himself up for that fight. I just think the movement is going to cause him a lot of problems. And if I'm honest, Crawford's got to fight a bit of a boring fight to beat him. And in a way, I mean, he'll engage a lot more than Skull, don't get me wrong. But the way to beat Canelo, I mean, I had the fight quite close, if I'm honest. 115, 113, maybe 116, 112. And that was Skull. You know, Crawford's on another level to that. So it's a great fight. It's a very intriguing fight. I do think the size will be an issue because I don't really think Crawford's a big 154-pounder. And just because you see him head to head, look, I've had many fighters fight Canelo. Yeah. Everyone goes, bloody hell, look at the size of him compared to Canelo. Callum Smith, Rock. It really don't matter. It really doesn't matter. And this isn't really about size. I think it may play a part, but I think this is more about skill and game plan.
Crawford being planned to face Canelo Alvarez. And I give Terence, and I've said this many times this week, like, look, he's going to get paid for it, and that's what you're in the game for. But I give him a lot of respect because he could have stayed at 54, fought some fights, made good money. Instead, he's going to jump up 2 weight classes and take on a guy that's still arguably the best at 168 pounds. When you first heard about this idea, you first heard about it, what did you think of this idea of Bud going up to 68 to fight Canelo?
I ain't gonna lie, I've been putting it out since, I want to say, when he fought Sean Porter. Like, back then, if you go watch, it's an interview out there. I had said I think that Terence Crawford would beat Canelo Alvarez right after he fought Sean Porter. So the idea, I've been thinking about it. I've been saying it before Bud even was saying it.
Why were you saying it then? Like, that was what, a few years ago? Was he 160 or 168 at that point? But why did you believe then that was the right fight?
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got, I think and this is before Bivol did it, but I thought like Terence Crawford was the only guy who I felt as though could have beat Canelo with his style.
So tell me if you think I'm wrong here. Like, I might have been more confident after the Spence fight when he threw a lot of right hands in that fight, was aggressive. Against Madrimov, he didn't throw a lot of right hands in that fight. And I've been saying for years that the only way to beat Canelo Alvarez, throw right hands. Gennady Golovkin did it, almost beat him, probably should have beat him the first time around. Dmitry Bivol did it in their fight. Other guys tend to try to jab him to death. I don't think you can win fights
I was
jabbing
about to
against
say,
Canelo Alvarez.
I disagree with you.
That's not surprising at all. Like that's
I felt like GGG, Bivol, Floyd, I thought all of them had a great jab.
Okay.
Like I thought all of them had a great jab. I thought Bivol jab was insane. I thought Triple G jab was amazing too.
Yeah, that's his. Yeah, I just think he also wasn't afraid though to let the right hand go afterwards. Like Kovalev was throwing jabs the entire night, just jabs against Canelo. I think at some point
was a different version of like Kovalev. Like we're gonna be honest, it wasn't the same.
You're right.
Kovalev after he fought Andre Ward. That's what I think. But I think Bud is a southpaw. I think that's the part that kind of that's underestimated about the fight. I think him being a southpaw makes it a little harder for Canelo. I think Canelo has some type of trouble with southpaw when I watched him fight John Ryder.
Yep.
John Ryder, and John Ryder wasn't that good. It's just Canelo was fighting against the southpaw, and it made it a little bit harder than usual. But with the Madrimov fight, I just felt like Madrimov is a good fighter, and stylistically, he's a lot different than Canelo.
Teddy, a fight I need to get your breakdown on. Canelo Alvarez takes on Terence Crawford in September. We were talking earlier about big weight jumps. This is obviously a massive weight jump for Terence Crawford. I guess for yourself, it's a few months away now, but how do you break down Canelo?
It's the right fight to break down for this place,
Yeah.
for Ring. You know why? Because Ring is all about the history of the sport.
Yeah.
And you guys are bringing out the history of the sport for people that, want to know it and don't know it, or do know it, want to know more about it. And through the history of the sport has always been one of the greatest questions. Who wins between the real good big man and the real good little man? Or the great big man and the great little man? Who wins? Yeah. That has been a question through the history of this sport. We get another chance to answer that question. Yeah. And that's great. That is tremendous. And you can make arguments both sides. Well, Canelo's too big. He's too big, and Crawford, as good as he is, he stepped up with Madrimov, and he struggled a little bit. He won, but it was more competitive than we thought. Well, we didn't understand how good Madrimov was because we underestimated him because he only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights. He was a good, solid fighter.
Absolutely was.
Right? And he's on this card, of course, but he was a good, solid fighter. We didn't understand that, so we started to knock down Crawford a little bit because our expectations were so high, and that's wrong. That's wrong. He won. He changed gears. He did what he had to do when he realized the level of this guy in front of him, and he got the win. But again, people are going to say Canelo's too big. He had trouble with a 154-pound guy when he went up from welterweight to that. So now he's going up to 168. Teddy, come on. How are you going to make an argument? You're going to make an argument through the history of this sport, where little guys have been able to beat big guys, because you reverse it. You reverse who's got the advantage and the disadvantage. Yeah, the size, the power of Canelo, he's got the advantage. Then all of a sudden you go back and you say, wait a minute. The other guy's faster. The other guy's craftier. The other guy has more options. The other guy is slicker. Oh, well, maybe he's got the advantages. Yeah. Like the first time Pacquiao fought De La Hoya. And I know De La Hoya was having trouble with weight and all that. I get it. And that's fair. But still, I remember I picked that one. Every once in a while I pick one right. I remember that I picked that one where Pacquiao's going to win. And I said, yeah, you're saying that De La Hoya's bigger, he's stronger. He's got the power edge, he's got this edge. But the other guy's quicker. And that's going to be an edge. And it was an edge. So at the end of the day, you have an argument on both sides. Who really has the advantage? I want to find out. I want to see. Is it the great big one or the great little one? Who has the advantage? I ain't going away. As big as the resume is for Canelo, and it's big, and it's tremendous, and it's strong. Everyone that he's fought, all the fighters. And Crawford's a little smaller, but he's fought good fights, but a little smaller. And he's won titles at different weight class. But I'm one of the people that thinks Crawford is very, very special. I'm not saying Canelo's not, but I think he's special in a different way, where he's got instincts that not everyone has. Yeah. That it's the timing, it's the instinctual things, the X factors, the intangibles that he has. And I think they're going to show themselves. I really do. And I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait to see a smaller guy use those intangibles, use those X factors to beat a bigger guy. I always wanted to see David and Goliath live. Didn't you?
Of course, absolutely. I would as well.
Okay, we'll get ready to watch it.
Well, you know, being a Mexican, when Canelo fights, the whole world stops. You know what I mean? So it's always like that. You know, had the family come over, the friends come over to watch the fights. It's always a good time when Canelo fights, you know? And I mean, we're just looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. Do you think, of course, assuming he beats William Skull, what are your thoughts on him fighting Crawford? Crawford being a guy who's coming from 135 or in the early part of his career, and he's going to make the jump to 168. What are your thoughts on that? How does that play out?
I mean, you know, just to keep it real, I think he's too small. Like, yeah, I know he just weighed in at 180 right now, but you know, just putting on the weight and actually belonging to that weight are two different things. You know, I would understand maybe if he fought someone of less caliber, but it's Canelo we're talking about. You know, I mean, that dude is good.
Yeah,
you know, he's been running boxing for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you're gonna say Canelo stoppage or just Canelo win?
I think it's gonna be a very clear win.
A clear win.
A clear win.
I personally think it's gonna be a tactical fight. I know Terence has never fought at that weight, right? And I understand walking around at the weight and then fighting at the weight are two different things. Yeah. I've seen Terence spar up close against like super middleweights, like heavyweights going into that Spence fight.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting because Canelo is just not a sparring partner. He's Canelo Alvarez, like you said.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's going to be real interesting. Canelo being the bigger guy on the front foot, Terence being able to crack with both hands, but also have that lateral movement. I think it's going to be an interesting style. I don't think it's going to be as decisive as you think, but you know Canelo a little better than I do, but I think it'll be really close.
Here's the thing. I mean, and I can debate on this. I don't know if we have enough time, but and I know I'm going to get some shit for saying this because of me, but Crawford gets hit. He does.
Yeah.
He gets hit like everybody else. Sometimes he gets hit pretty clean. If you get hit clean by Canelo, that's not good. You know, it's really not good, whoever you are. And Canelo's fast. It's not like he's a slow puncher.
No,
he will catch you off guard.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just different.
But at the same time, you got to be able to take into account that Terence has got lateral movement, and
he does.
He does. And Canelo struggled a bit with Lara. He struggled with Mayweather. So again, it'll be interesting. But I don't imagine Bud is going to sit there and take shots. I don't know.
He's not, but Crawford is a prideful guy.
Yeah,
we've seen him stay.
He is very.
In
He's competitive. He's prideful. Very.
He is. So I think I don't think he should stay there if he wants to win.
Yeah.
But sometimes the pride takes over. You're like, all right, fuck it. Like, you know.
And sometimes too, as fighters, and you know this well, like sometimes your instincts just kick in, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. So sometimes you just gotta fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, it'll be great. And